this is Captain Chaudhary. Welcome in my second video on Enhanced Survey Program. Let's talk about some terms which are given right in the beginning of ESP, right? Enhanced Survey Program code 2011. So here is this term called overall survey. Overall survey, what is the intention? What is the objective of overall survey? Overall survey's objective is basically to report on a few matters. What are those matters? Number one, the overall condition of the ship. What is the overall condition of the ship? The report in respect of that. And second one, whether the ship needs additional close-up surveys. So to determine if the ship needs additional close-up surveys and how many close-up surveys. So this is what is done in the overall survey. Close-up survey. What is close-up survey? Close-up survey is to find out the functioning of the detailed component of any part that is being surveyed. So what is important in close-up survey is it should be seen, the object to be inspected or surveyed should be seen from a close range, right? It's not that it should be in the visible range, that from standing from the bottom of the hold or tank top, from tank top you are trying to see the top of another tank. So this is not close-up survey. Visual inspection, along with the visual inspection, the object to be surveyed should be in the hands reach. So hands reach and visual inspection range. It means that the arrangements have to be made, like we talk about ship structure access. That means access is provided to the surveyor to every corner of the ship, where the survey needs to be done. So two things are there in close-up survey. It is for checking the detailed functioning of the component of the object to be surveyed, but it should be in hands reach as well as it should be. Hands reach does not mean that there is some perforation or the hole or another compartment and you just put your hand, it is in the hands reach. No, it should be in close visible range also. So that is what is close-up surveys. Representative space means those spaces which reflect the similar condition of the other spaces. So how do you decide that? So the representative space must be probably type where it is doing the same kind of service, it is exposed to the similar condition and it is maintained by the similar method of corrosion prevention, etc. So to understand this, let us understand this incident. There was a ship and there was this double bottom tank, and next to the bell mouth there was a round clean cut of the hull material, right? This was definitely due to the electrolysis. The metal was getting sacrificed from the hull and it was getting deposited somewhere else, but there was a clean cut hole as if somebody must have gas cut it. So this becomes a kind of a space that is affected by the loss of metal, and probably the surveyor would say that every other double bottom which is located in the similar position must be inspected, because the similar loss might have happened to the other spaces also, which are in the similar location, which are serving the same purpose and which are exposed to the similar corrosion prevention methods, right? So representative space means surveyor gets an idea, like we must inspect that space also. If the corrosion has happened or deterioration has happened over here, it would probably happen there also. Suspect areas, we must understand, we must remember two things. One is it shows substantial corrosion, and number two, it is prone to rapid wastage. So there is loss of material, loss of thickness of the plate, etc. And those areas are suspect areas. Substantial corrosion. Substantial corrosion is another very important definition under ESP, and one of the most important things which is done in the survey is thickness monitoring. So what is this substantial corrosion? To understand this substantial corrosion, let us say that there is a plate which is 4 centimeter thick, right? And out of which 3 centimeter is the thickness which must be always maintained to maintain the strength of the vessel throughout the life. Yes, so 3 centimeter should never be touched. But right now the thickness is 4 centimeter. Right now, out of 4 centimeter, 1 centimeter is allowed to be wasted. Right now, that 1 centimeter which is allowed to be wasted, if 75% of that 1 centimeter is already wasted, this is called substantial corrosion. That means a plate which was 4 centimeter thick and for which 3 centimeter thickness is absolutely essential for maintaining the strength, then if the plate comes down to 3.25 centimeter, that means substantial corrosion has taken place. Now there are these tankers or bulk carriers which are constructed as per common structural rules of IX. They say that suppose the T is basic thickness for maintaining the strength. If the thickness has come down to T plus 5 mm, that means the thickness now is between T, that is the basic thickness, and T plus 5 mm, that means the plate is already on substantial corrosion. And by the way, if the thickness is less than T, it means that the plate needs to be renewed. And if the thickness is T plus 0.5 mm more than that, that means at the moment neither the plate is having or showing substantial corrosion nor the plate needs to be replaced. Continue the maintenance the way you are doing. So substantial corrosion is to be understood this way. I told you the two methods. One of the methods or either of the method represents substantial corrosion. Now, condition of coating. Now, steel plates coating is defined under these three conditions or described under these three conditions: good, fair and poor. Good means just minor spot rusting. So, if you go to buy a beam or girder, if you have just minor spot rusting, that means color has become brown in certain points, you don't reject the beam or girder. The condition is supposed to be good. Fair. Fair means near the edges or sometimes where the welding is done, you might have breakdown of coating. Or there is light rusting over 20% or more area of the plate. Right? Light rusting. The word used is light rusting. But the condition is not as bad as poor. Now, if we talk about poor condition, they say that breakdown of coating over 20% or more, or thick scales were found in the area 10% or more of the plate under consideration or the area under consideration. So that would be considered as poor condition. Critical structural areas are the areas which need to be monitored. And why they should be monitored, why they need to be monitored could be found because of the calculations. That means after doing theoretical calculation, it is found that this particular areas are overstressed or they are exposed to extra stress or the torsional moments, etc., or whatever, bending moments, etc. So these areas, critical structural areas, can be found by calculation or they can be found from the history of the damage that happens to the ship. So through the various surveys, inspections or the damage history, it is found that usually this size ship gets damaged in these areas, or this particular ship has got a history of getting deteriorated in this area. The third method could be, sister ship. Like there is a famous case of Derbyshire. Derbyshire, when it sank, it was, the survey was done, in-depth survey was done by Stamps, and Professor Faulkner was the one who was in charge of the survey, and it was found that the ship could have gone down in 14 different reasons. One of the reasons that was advised was problem because of frame number 68. There were some 5 sister ships, Cowlin Bridge and some other ship. Two of the ships, they were damaged because of the error or because of the weakness of frame. So they thought that this could be one of the possible reasons that the Derbyshire broke or the Derbyshire went down. Okay, of course, the most probable reason why the Derbyshire went down was supposed to be a wave whose height was approximately 23 meter from top of the hatch cover. That was such a tall wave. It landed on the forward hatch covers. That was the reason of the hatch covers collapsing and the ship going down. Coming back to the structural stress areas, they need to be identified for close monitoring. Surveyors. If a bulk carrier is of 20,000 deadweight or more, then when the ship completes the age of 10 years, that means the third renewal survey is there. Then for the third renewal survey and thereafter the intermediate surveys and all renewal and intermediate surveys, they will be attended by or they will be performed by two surveyors. When they talk about survey of bulk carrier who's 1 lakh ton and above deadweight, then it says that after completion of 10 years, the first intermediate survey that would be conducted by two surveyors. If the survey is done by recognized organization, then both the surveyors would be appointed by the recognized organization. That is what is said. The renewal survey actually can commence at the 4th anniversary, and for the entire succeeding year, the survey may progress, so that the idea is at the time of 5th anniversary, the survey can be completed.